Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another video where today I teach you how to aim like a pro. I hope we are all doing well today. To start off, most of these tips you're about to hear can work with both console and PC. And the first one is, if you want to aim like the pros, you need to practice like the pros. Most of them did not develop their aim by playing 1 or 2 days a week. Most of them play hours upon hours upon hours. Most of those teams, they practice all the time. So in order to get on their level, playing maybe only on the weekends or a few days throughout the week, you need to make sure that the time you spend practicing is quality time. One way for keyboard and mouse players to reach a higher potential is to download aim trainers such as Aim Labs or Kovacs. And you can get both of those through Steam. Aim Labs is free right now. And practicing these for about 10 to 15 minutes every time before you start to play with your pals is going to have a significant difference over time. However, it is important to know increasing your aiming ability does take time. In most cases, it will not happen overnight. I use AimLab, which you can download on Steam for free and run through some of the different training exercises that are searchable through the software itself, or you can take your own approach to figure out what works best for you. My personal favorites, which have made a difference in my aim, are Spider Shot, and that's where you shoot the middle target and then you flick out to another target and then back to the center, back out to another target. The next one is Grid Shot. There are different variations of this, however, it's based around the targets randomly popping up around the grid 4 or 5 at a time. And the third is any of the strafing shot modes. This will allow you to track your targets better while in a fight, or maybe even at distance while you're sniping. I do understand consoles do not have this option for aiming, however there are several ways they can improve their aim working in the same sense. One of those ways is some of the games now that you have available to you, you can turn bots on that are really low level. And in those game modes where you can turn the bots on, you can actually practice your aim without being dominated in a normal game mode. This allows you to practice your strafing, to practice your flicks, to practice the different kinds of weapons in the game, to control recoil patterns. You can also do this on PC if you wish, however you do have other ways to practice this on PC. The next thing to keep in mind is actually your crosshair placement. Most people don't even think this is important or think about it that much. The big game series right now, or trend, is Battle Royale, and you're consistently looking on the ground to try to find loot to pick up to take out the other teams with. So it causes you to have what's called a low crosshair placement. If you aim low, you're going to shoot low. If you aim high, you're going to shoot high. Have you ever wondered why CSGO teams are so good at their aiming when they're popping around corners? Well, a lot of it actually comes down to their crosshair placement. Your crosshair should always be at chest to head level, and it should always be where the enemy will end up. If you're aiming at the corner of a wall and the enemy peeks the corner, you're at a disadvantage because you have to move your mouse or move your stick to adjust for that. You need to aim where the enemy is going to be. And this is true for every FPS game out there, whether or not it's Modern Warfare Warzone, whether or not it's the new Black Ops Cold War, whether it's PUBG, any of them. You need to understand where to put your crosshair at. The next you need to think about is what sensitivity you want to use. This one is actually the most important one out there. Most of your pro gamers are going to tell you that you shouldn't use a DPI higher than 800, and when you use the length of your mouth pad, you should do a 180 degree turn or a full 360 degree turn in game. Personally, I stick with 180 degrees with a DPI of 400, as I have found that a lower sensitivity for tracking is going to be much better, and it's going to be much better for precision as well. Now on console, you only have the in-game sensitivity, so you have to figure out what works better for you and what game you are working with. A general rule of thumb for both keyboard and mouse and console is if you are over flicking consistently, you should lower your sensitivity down until you are getting a mixture of under and over adjusting on your flick shots. The micro adjustments are going to come with practice, but remember, it's not going to come overnight in most cases. It's going to take some time, so don't get frustrated, just take your breaks. While on keyboard and mouse, an important thing to realize is while doing some of the aim trainers, your wrist might start to hurt. That's because you are not used to using some of those muscles that are right there in that wrist. or your joint starts to get tired. Make sure you take plenty of breaks to avoid a wrist injury. One of the biggest things to keep in mind as well is keeping your sensitivity universal. If you have the same sensitivity in all of the games that you play, you will be at a higher advantage than the opposition, because every game that you do play, you are practicing with the same sensitivity. Now when it comes to games such as Overwatch or Apex Legends or Team Fortress, those sort of games, you might need a higher sensitivity, a higher mouse speed to hit those flick shots with ease. There are many online conversion software that will allow you to convert your sensitivity from one game to another so that you can keep the universal sensitivity. They're really nice because they keep you from being frustrated that you can never get your sensitivity correct, and when you do jump into game, you can just immediately adjust it right off the bat and not have to worry about playing a game or two with really bad sensitivity. Also on PC, you want to make sure you go into your settings and turn off mouse acceleration. If you have a macro software for your mouse, you want to make sure you turn off enhance pointer precision. What this does is, if you move your mouse faster, you're going to flick out farther. If you move your mouse slower, you're going to go the normal distance of your regular sensitivity. So what it does is it changes between the two sensitivities to allow you the precise sort of aiming. Most gamers have a hard time figuring this out, so I recommend you turn it off completely and just stick with the more linear line of aiming. Now hopefully you found this information helpful, and if you follow all these tips, I'm sure that you're going to be aiming like a pro in no time. Just remember, take your time, relax, don't get frustrated, you'll get there one day.